Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shah, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shah, Brakatha Yahweh, Brakatha Yahweh Shah. Call hello, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem Rakha Kadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect scattered across the four winds. This is your brother Yakar Abin, Great Millstone, Houston. Just with another quick lesson, about uh, I can't remember the phrase what Kamala Harris had had coined the term. I can't remember exactly how it goes, but basically, the things that have been and the things that are going to come. you know, uh, you know. Well, let's just get started. This is Deuteronomy chapter 30 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh thy power have driven thee. So this is the Lord speaking to the children of Israel, the generation that survived through the wilderness, because the older generation, they didn't make it because of unbelief, so they had to die in the wilderness during that 40 years. So the Lord is reestablishing His covenant with their children in Deuteronomy, but it's okay. So let me get it. The curses and the blessings are in Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? And the I think in four, not uh, it's 54. No, no. But anyway, one of the part of the curses, when you go through this, it speaks of all the curses, and one of the curses is being scattered amongst all the other nations. So when we go to this Deuteronomy 30, it says, "And it shall come to pass when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse." So the blessing came upon Israel and the curse, and this didn't happen in one lifetime. This speaks over the course of time. So over the course of time, the Israelites would come into the blessings with King David and King Solomon, and the curses, all the rest, all the rest of the Israelites' history, you know, where we primarily fell under the curses. But it says, "And shalt return unto Yahweh thy power, and shall obey his voice according that all that I command thee this day, thou and thy children, with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and return and gather thee from all the nations whither Yahweh by Shem Yahweh Shah thy power have scattered thee." So over the course of time, the Lord said that He was going to gather, the Israelites, because those are the ones under under the curse, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So He said that, since He made a contract with them, He didn't make a contract with any other nation, you know. But He said that He would gather. Let's get it again. It says, "And then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh Hashem Shah thy power have scattered thee. And if any of thine be driven out unto the outermost parts of heaven, from thence will Yahweh by Shem Shah thy power gather thee, and from thence will he fetch thee. And he says, and then Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, thy power will bring thee into the land which thy fathers possessed, and thou shalt possess it, and he will do thee good and multiply thee above thy fathers. Okay, so this is essentially this is the new covenant. This is the new covenant. And it says Deuteronomy 30:6, and it says, and Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, thy power will circumcise thine heart and the heart of thy seed to love Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, thy power with all thy heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. So this right here is the new covenant. The new covenant is eternal life, whereas the Lord promised Israel, the 12 tribes and their seed, that he would love them. I mean, it's mimicked all throughout the scriptures. It's mimicked all throughout the scriptures. We get it in Hebrews. It's, chapter 8, verse 7. It says, this is Hebrews 8:7. It says, for if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, meaning he found fault with the people. Nothing was wrong with the covenant. Nothing was wrong with the laws, statutes, and commandments that the Heavenly Father gave us. But what was wrong was us. The problem was us. He said, for finding fault with them, he said, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant, and I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws in their mind and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, for all shall know me from the least to the greatest. Okay, so that's, this is precept upon precept. That's where we going back to Deuteronomy 30:6, and it says, and Yahweh, thy power will circumcise thy heart. So he's gonna circumcise our heart. So he's gonna change it. He's gonna change us from the stony heart to a heart of flesh, and the heart of thy seed. See right there? He's gonna, and to love the Lord Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, thy power with all thine heart and with all thy soul, that thou mayest live. And right there. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh. I will put my laws in their mind. That's circumcising their heart. In the Hebrew, the word heart is lav, which is mind, which is their mind. So he said he's going to circumcise our heart, meaning that he's going to change our mind. He's going to put his laws in their mind, or in our minds, and write them in their hearts, to be to them a power, and they shall be to him a people. Okay, and like I said, this is mimicked all throughout the scriptures. So the Christian doctrine is just false. I mean, it's just false. It's, everything in the scriptures point to, at, around, from the Israelites. There's no such thing as you have to be a physical blood-born descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to be an Israelite. Period. You have to be a descendant, a blood descendant through the male child, through the male. Like it states in Wisdom of Solomon. I think that's chapter 7. But we're gonna get it here in Ezekiel, And I'm not trying to make this very long. I'm just just going over a couple of instances where the Lord is speaking to his prophets and he's speaking to the house of Israel, and it's exclusively for them. It's not for the other nations. And the promise, he keeps mimicking the promise. He keeps telling, it's reiterating, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to scatter you. I'm going to put you off into other lands. But guess what? I'm going to gather you up, and then I'm going to bring you back, and you get to go to the land, because the Lord promised the land to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the descendants of Jacob, whose name was changed to Israel. But this is Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 16. It says, "Moreover, the word of the Lord, Yahweh, by Shem Yahushua, came unto me, saying, Son of man, when the house of Israel dwelt in their own land, they defiled it by their own way and by their doings. Their way was before me as the uncleanness of a removed woman." So, back in the law, a woman, when she's on her monthly, she had to get up out of the house, because that's unclean. So the Lord is saying that Israel has become like, as unclean as a woman on her cycle. That's how this is Jake. This is Jake. It's absolutely. It says, "Wherefore I poured my fury upon them for the blood that they had shed upon the land, and for their idols wherewith they had polluted it." So, the Lord said, don't go into the land and do the things that the other nations have done, lest it spew you out. But guess what? That's what Israel did. And it says, "And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way and according to their doings. I judged them." So, okay, back to that Deuteronomy 30. It says, it says, Deuteronomy 31, "And it shall come to pass, when all these things are come upon thee, the blessing and the curse, which I have set before thee, and thou shalt call them to mind among all the nations, whither the Lord thy power have driven thee." Right? So, mimicking the same thing. It says, no, Salakia, that's, yeah, 64. Yeah, that was, I called it the first time. But it says, "And Yahweh shall scatter thee among all the people from one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods which thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone." And that's going back to the Ezekiel. It says, they're idols. So the Lord said, "And I scattered them among the heathen, and they were dispersed through the countries according to their way, according to their doings. I judged them." So, the primarily you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the Hebrew Israelites, but the Lord scattered his people into all nations. So there will be Hebrew Israelites that look like every nation on the earth. There's going to be Hebrew Israelites that look like every nation of the earth, because they have been scattered. And the Lord knows the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So it says, this is Ezekiel 36 and 20. And it says, "And when they entered unto the heathen, whither they went, they profaned my holy name, when they said to them, These are the people of Yahweh, and are gone forth out of his land." So yeah, the Lord cast us out of our land amongst the heathen, and the heathen, basically was like, look at the Lord's people, look at them. It says, this is Ezekiel chapter 36 and verse 21. It says, But I had pity for my holy name, which the house of Israel have profaned among the heathen, whither they went. So, the house of Israel profaned the Lord's name. That's why he cast us out. He cast us out among the heathen, and then among the heathen, they looked at us and said, "Look at y'all, y'all a bunch of low lives, essentially." So the Lord said, this is Ezekiel 36 and 22. It says, "Therefore say unto the house of Israel, thus saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua power, I do not this for your sakes, O house of Israel, but for mine holy name's sake, which ye have profaned among the heathen, whether you went." So the Lord said it ain't about nothing that the house of Israel did. It's about what the Heavenly Father, the promise that He gave Israel, not the promise that He gave all people, the promise that He gave Israel. He said, "And I will sanctify my great name, which was profaned among the heathen." So I'm gonna set it apart. I'm gonna set my name apart, which was profaned among the heathen, which ye have profaned in the midst of them, and the heathen shall know I am Yahweh, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua power, when I shall be sanctified in you before their eyes. So the Lord said He's going to sanctify, you know, us in the heathen's eyes, because He said He was going to do it, not because of anything that we've done, but He made that promise. So He said that He's gonna do these things. It says, Ezekiel 36 and 24, it says, "For I will take you from among the heathen and gather you out of all the countries and bring you into your own land." Right? Okay. Going back to that Deuteronomy 30, it says 30 and 3, it says, "That then Yahweh thy power will turn thy captivity and have compassion upon thee, and return and gather thee from all the nations whither the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahushua thy power have scattered thee." Right? It's mimicking the same exact, over and over and over and over. And it says, "Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh." So that's mimicking Hebrews 8 and 10. "For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. I will put my laws in their minds and write them in their hearts, and I will be to them a power, and they shall be to me a people." So, so then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean from all your filthiness, and from your idols will I cleanse you. A new heart also will I give you, and a new spirit will I put within you, and I will take away the stony heart out of your flesh, and I will give you a heart of flesh. It says, "And I will put my spirit within you, and cause you to walk in my statutes, and ye shall keep my judgments and do them. And ye shall dwell in the land I gave to your fathers, and ye shall be my people, and I will be your power. And I will also save you from all your uncleanness, and I will call for the corn and will increase it, and lay no famine upon you. And I will multiply the fruit of thy tree and the increase of the field, that ye shall receive no more reproach or famine among the heathen. Then shall ye remember your own evil ways and your doings that were not good, and shall loathe yourselves in your own sight for your iniquities and for your abominations. Not for your sakes do I do this, saith Yahweh by Shem Yahushua power. Be it known unto you, be ashamed and confounded, for your own ways, O house of Israel. It says, thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Shem Yahushua power, in that day that I shall have cleansed you from all your iniquities. I will also cause you to dwell in the cities, and the way shall be builded. So, I mean, the new covenant is having the laws, statutes, and commandments in our hearts being gathered up from all four corners of the earth and gathered and brought back to the land, brought back to the land that was promised to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So, you know, we're going to get one last precept and we're going to close it out. And this is Revelation chapter 22 and verse 3. And it says, and there shall be no more curse, but the throne of the Most High and of the Lamb shall be in it, and his servants shall serve him, and they shall see his face, and his name shall be in their foreheads. So this right here is saying no more curse, because the curses were only placed upon Israel. And when Yahweh Shai returns on that fathership, that cloud, when he returns on that cloud and gathers his elect and takes them back to the land, you know, this and when they're beamed up in a twinkling of an eye, you know, this is when the new covenant takes place. This is when the new covenant takes place. And it's only for Israel, because Israel is the only one under penalty of under contract to keep the Lord's law, statutes, and commandments. So that being said, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Ruach Tadash. Double honors to our elders, apostles, the great millstone, and double honors to the men that taught our elders and apostles. Hopefully this lesson was edifying to the elect. Shalom.